How crazy have you ever went while you're editing a movie? Like a film, like see when you're editing a film.
Yeah, mate, you would not believe
See when
this.
you are responsible for editing and just finding out, just learning about Premiere or like After Effects and how to move things. What contraption did you create?
I wrote the descriptor yesterday at work for this episode, and would you like to know what the opening line is?
Let's see it.
You ever edited a film on drugs? You ever went a bit too trigger happy with After Effects and transitions? Meanwhile, you're making one of the earliest comic books ever made. No, not many folk have. No, I don't think anyone in their right mind has ever went that trigger happy with effects in a film. I certainly haven't. I hate effects.
But I think this he was probably the happiest film editor. He's probably the soundest bloke in the planet.
He was on drugs.
He was on drugs, but
he's probably dead. Because
he left this behind, and he left for us to talk about it. So this creation, it left an impact because we're talking about this. Hulk. Well,
smash.
Bold.
Cheeky.
Flashy. Gallus.
Hello and welcome to the Gallus podcast for film and TV, and you're joined by Joshua White and
Ryan Robertson.
And well, it's one of my, I would say, superhero film wise, it's one of my favourites.
Bold. It's a bold statement.
This film is quite cheeky and flashy as well.
That is a bold statement. I think it's quite garbage.
I really like it. Really, really like it.
I'm very mixed on it, I will say. I'm very mixed on it.
Those 2 stars on Letterboxd, they do mean, they do truly speak.
It's so long. I like films that are fun. This film is a lot of fun with its visuals, its editing, and the stuff on screen. But it's also so boring. Nothing happens throughout the entire film. See, if you were watching this film, you sit down with no distractions, you'll enjoy all of the transitions and you'll pick up on the story. Say you sat on your phone the entire time and glanced at this film every couple of minutes. You'd know exactly what the story was. You might not have caught every single transition, but you'd know what was happening. It's a very, very simple story. Why does it take 140 minutes to tell it?
I was kind of like both. I was like in both of those boats. Maybe the first half through the film, I was pretty much glued to it, even though
nothing happened.
We were discussing in the first half. Ryan was saying that the first half didn't really add much, but although it might not have added insane much, I was still entertained. And then the second half, I was still kind of watching. I was on my phone a little bit, but it didn't really mean I got bored of it. I'm weird with that.
The second time I ever watched this film, so we're excluding when I watched it as a little baby youth boy, the second time I ever watched it, when I was watching through all of the Marvel films, I fell asleep. Like halfway through it. It was the middle of the day. I fell asleep halfway through this film. It actually put me to sleep.
This one specifically?
Dogfight. It's also so dark.
Dark as in visually or?
Visually. It's very hard to see a lot of the fight, except for one very obvious fight.
Right, basically there's like, the very last fight was a little bit weird with its CGI trying to morph matter and faces together, because sometimes I couldn't see it, and it was, as you said, a wee bit dark. And there was another scene that was a wee bit dark, but yeah, that was it. Pretty much fine. Another thing, I was watching it on YouTube, and for some reason the volume was just so quiet. I don't know if that was just a YouTube thing or a film thing, but it was like that was the only time I had to put the TV up to the maximum volume.
Because the sound of the music is brilliant.
Yeah, there are a lot of things going for it.
There are so much I like. This film, I give it the most 50-50 in the world, because there is a lot of good and there's a lot of things I really, really like, which I'm looking greatly forward to talking about in great detail.
We're talking about a lot of things.
A lot of fundamental things I just don't like. Like, our main man, Mr. Bruce Banner, just kind of exists. He's not driving the story.
He's just that chosen one that just sort of kicks about.
This,
He just somehow becomes a scientist.
the film is about his dad abusing him as a child, and how that trauma had built up inside of him, and the Hulk let it out. Basically, and it's all about daddy and son. Meanwhile, you've got a lot of other things that make you forget that is actually what it's about.
Like, it was about unlocking memories, I'd say, as well.
Yeah.
Like, he must have thought it was a dream this whole time about seeing his mum get murdered. But then again, he wasn't too aware of it.
Yeah.
And then that's when he gets the revelation his dad's here.
Strong,
and all that.
But
and then it actually unlocks something. It's not like, oh, I'm out for revenge for my dad who's probably dead. That happens like maybe 3/4 into the film. That revelation comes in much later on, and I'm glad it stayed that way instead of like it being the whole driving point.
I think that should be the driving point. Don't put the abuse of a child and experimentation of a child and that be the but like dog's law.
Nah.
Because then he fights a cloud, Josh. The Hulk fights a cloud.
You know what? It works.
I mean, it really...
Well, the cloud was a bit...
I like parts of the cloud thing, but it's just really funny that the Hulk versus Cloud is the final fight.
It was when... It was the cloud that I was a wee bit iffy on.
No.
Because it was a wee bit dark. When he was fighting water, that was fun.
He was fighting himself.
He should have turned sand. Total Sandman.
That would be gimmick infringement, because the same year they were building up to Spider-Man.
So we were.
Oh, that'd been a few years ago that the Sandman would have been in it, but...
Well, he'd have looked different. He'd have looked different.
He'd have looked the exact same.
If they're in the same universe, who knows?
Well, all Marvel films in the same universe.
Since we're in the multiverse saga,
this canonically is in the same universe as every other Marvel film.
Every other Marvel film?
Yeah. Well, that's what they've set up.
I mean, not the MCU.
The MCU, every film is MCU now.
Kinda.
If the X-Men and the Fantastic Four from 2003 is, if Daredevil and Elektra and Blade are all in the MCU, I see no reason as to why this doesn't exist somewhere in that world.
It was a bit...
Howard the Duck is MCU.
Is this all to do with Deadpool and Wolverine?
Deadpool, Wolverine, Doctor Strange...
And what the hell
Loki.
they did with it?
I blame Loki.
Yeah, the specific Earth. I would love to see him make a cameo.
I very much appreciate the bit when he goes and is immensely big. He gets really big in this. He grows to the size of a house. Like
he actually just grows. And you know what? He actually just absorbs the guns first.
Yeah.
He absorbs bullets first before getting giant. I don't know.
This is the one that...
I've not seen Hulk do that anywhere else. Maybe he did do that anywhere else. I've not seen The Incredible Hulk that came out 5 years later.
Such a good film. So much better. So much better.
I liked it the first.
So much
darker.
See. So much more about Hulk and not about other things that you don't need to care about. Because... Again,
there's things that stretch out. Wee bit of filler sometimes.
Wee bit of filler. It's 2 hours 20 minutes. It's good. An hour of filler.
I would say. I think I said to you before this. We recorded, but if it was on the dot 2 hours, I reckon because there's wee things they just add up. I would say
you can chop the first 12 to 15 minutes off of the film.
You could
easy. And then you could just make every sequence a wee bit longer. Is there not 4 straight minutes of these planes flying to one place that just keep transitioning into transitioning? That could have been a fucking minute. There's 3 minutes chopped off.
Maybe it was 4 minutes, but I didn't really. I just looked at the helicopters and went.
There's absurdly long bits like that.
There's times where I will look. Depends on how I feel about the film. As I'm watching it a second time. But if there's something like 4 minutes of helicopters, for example, I'll just be either I'll go, come on, we hurry up to the next bit, or in this case, I'll just look at the helicopters and just not think of anything. You know, it's just
Yeah, but that's because it's
rotted
cool.
my brain. Yeah,
It's cool.
it is cool, precisely.
But
You know, it's one of those films where I'm just not too like critical about. You know, like I'll be critical about some films. I'll nitpick a lot, but with this one, I don't know. It doesn't really matter what it seems to do. I just seem to like it, and I used the word charm specifically for the way that the guy who was on drugs, not in the film, who was editing the film, he was very high, but
well,
it
let's see
worked.
who the editor was.
We're gonna see who the editor for Hulk is. Because I certainly hope he worked on other things. Even like, see if you had no idea that it was meant to convey like a comic book. I could see why they like how it makes sense, kind of, but I think just in execution it just didn't really work. And even in the credits, it's just an entire fucking comic strip, basically.
The opening credits are brilliant.
Like the open. I forgot to mention the opening credits. The opening credits are like weird. It gets all macro and sciencey, and things turn green, and then it makes a lot of use of like transitioning effects. It'll turn an eye into like a frog's eye, and then it'll do some other shit, and then it'll go inside the frog. It'll do something.
Just cause it can.
And then it'll just go into space or something. That's what that will do.
We have the Big Bang at one point.
Yeah, and Hulk goes into space as well at some point as well, but no pre credits. It just looks like it. It just looks like a lot of stars, like a giant supernova, which is pretty cool. I love that. And it's just so different from the rest of the entire. I mean, whenever there's mention of the experimentation, things going wrong, or maybe like a frog getting experimented on, or even Hulk himself, there's always some sort of scene where it just zooms into them, and I think that must be the same editor. Either the same editor that just had a wild time with CGI and transitions, or just really liked cut-ins and all that stuff. And they also made use of like two different cameras at once, as if it's like CCTV. Do you know? So you had one side profile of one, and then maybe a close-up of another, and then they just had them side by side in this black background, which is just hilarious.
Shot reverse shot, which is what you'd expected.
And it's just
hilarious.
Just
kind of existed and did them on screen at the same time, which is very fun and very comic-y. I very much enjoyed that.
And they only did it like a couple times as well. Like there was at least 3 like 10-minute chunks of the film where they just, you know what, fuck it, let's just go crazy.
If the film was an hour long and was just as fast-paced and action-paced as that, they could have done it. Because instead of having to do 2 shots to say the same thing, they just could put them both in the one shot. They could have halved the film by doing more shit like that.
They could have, because you end up kind of saving time then, instead of.
And it's also very distinct. And
you've got more scenes in. Because there was only like a couple times where I actually followed each square as if it was like a comic. So they say something, and then another square pops up with said more dialogue, and then and then it zooms back in, and then I don't know, it was a roller coaster. So I didn't get to follow it some days, and sometimes it never made sense. Some other times, but you know what? Doesn't matter.
This guy called Tim Squires that edited the film. He edited all of Ang Lee's films, except for Brokeback Mountain, which is where we get to play the fun game of the Hulk director from 2003 also directed Brokeback Mountain, Life of Pi.
What are these films?
Crouching Tiger and the Hidden Dragon, which I've heard of. You not heard of Brokeback Mountain?
You reckon Hulk was his biggest success before Saw-Hey edited it? Or directed it?
Brokeback Mountain is seen to be one of the best films ever made.
Ah.
2 modern day cowboys meet and they fuck.
Lovely.
Brokeback Mountain.
Nah, that's definitely some wacky shit I've not seen
It's
before.
also unnecessarily long. Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, Maisie Williams, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, just the cover on that one just seems very.
Imagine wanting to kiss someone so bad that you almost break their fucking nose trying.
Did it actually say fucking in that? Where
That's
they
not the
actually
tagline, this is just someone's review. His back sure got broke on that mountain.
Did he die in a mountain? Hulk went on many mountains in this film.
It's just gay.
And then he went in the desert and did some shit.
Yeah, that is what the Hulk does.
I know all Hulks do that, but this one...
People really like this film or really hate this film.
This one, I like just this Hulk specifically, this Bruce Banner. I think he's way better than all the other ones. I mean, this one, especially just... It's the most Hulk-looking Hulk. Do you know what I mean? They really went...
EB Green.
They really went faithful with this one,
yeah.
I would reckon. Because I've seen all the other ones and they either look too cartoony or too small. Or just too dark green, you know, like too realistic.
The 2008 Incredible Hulk will always remain my favourite because I like Hulk films. I like a lot of Hulk films. This one just is unnecessarily long.
A wee bit, but
it's got a lot of good
it's not that
stuff.
I noticed too much.
Oh, I noticed.
I mean, when I before I was watching it again, I always thought it was like 2.5 hours. I thought it was much longer, and then I see it,
like it.
And then I see 2 hours and 18 minutes. I go, oh, that's not bad. You cut the credits. That's 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was like, okay, it's not as long as I absolutely thought it would be.
It's still too long, and I still fell asleep halfway through during the day because of how long.
On your second watch?
Tedious it was on my second watch. Yeah. Which, speaking of, let's just quickly set the scene so we can start. What we're planning to do for this episode is analyse a couple of key scenes. We've got 3 key scenes lined up, so let's set the scene. Wait, what a wee statement
scenes
for the film. You've got a wee guy who's abused his kid and done all these mad experiment stuff because he's mad. And what's happening here? You'll never know. He killed his wife, is what happened. And he wasn't very nice to his Wayne.
Find it very later, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually, because you just get a flash at the start, and then that's apparently the hook, which
didn't need.
I reckon you could have maybe showed that his mother was killed at the start, and then just have that.
Yeah.
Like, but
I digress. Differently, basically.
Sometimes it's when, like, you could edit. I suppose if you could edit or just say something at a later time or an earlier time, you could cut some time.
Absolutely.
And that's what they should be. Or you can convey something more. Like, it's just I guess mixing up of that.
This came out at the same time as Blade, Spider-Man, and X-Men.
Reshuffling that. Yeah. There's a lot of a big Marvel boom at that time as well.
Yeah.
Before SU did
this was just too much, too soon. Because it was too different. People were only just dipping their toes into the superhero film. The reason it didn't succeed as well as it would have if it released nowadays is because it was just so batshit mental. But and then we meet our adult man who's doing some wee like science push, and he becomes a Hulk. That's basically the first 40 minutes of the film.
Pretty much. There's a lot of just
conversations,
headaches, and him turning just a little bit green.
Like, he gets quite green sometimes.
I don't know. Like,
then he gets
just
really green.
Grows up. Like, it's one of those, like, maybe 15 minutes in, now you see him all grown up. But oh well, we're about to watch some scenes because the first thing we're actually going to watch and review
is the first transformation sequence.
Let's see it.
With our boy David Banner. Oh, look at the saliva on his mouth.
Look at that bloodshot eyes. Because he's been green all these years, apparently.
I mean, he was the green as a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's fun. That incredibly quick zoom.
See? Just tons. A transition.
He really likes looking at those kind of cell things.
A transition using molecules or something just to do that. But
that's very comic booky, by the way, is the molecule transition.
I like how they actually show him dropping the wallet, because that's important. That was like important for later on when Ross finds out that he was there.
So
or it must have been the other guy actually. Must have been Talbot this. Oh yeah, we found your wallet.
Oh, just anger, unrelenting from your trauma, but you don't quite know why you're doing it. Oh,
Because it's in your genes, son.
daddy.
You've just get anger issues just like your dad.
This is trauma, it's not anger issues, Josh. Whoa, 4-way split screen. Whoa, 3-way split screen. Whoa.
I think one of them said that. No, it was mid swings. That was it.
Boof, wipe. That was fun. What on earth happened there? He stood on a thing and it. No, I can't actually explain what that.
I will not
transition
question it. Destruction. That's what's happened.
God, is this what science is like?
Right, I don't know what that is. Like a reactor thing. He just pulls it
Science
out.
push. They do a lot of shots in the first 40 minutes where he's like lying in with like purple and green, like
Yeah.
all around him, just fan wank or whatever. Donk. Everything looks so fake. I love it. Look at this man, who's so
There's
big.
like a hell of use of green, like as you said,
Yeah.
without using like the Hulk. I swear
He sees people.
I swear Betty had like green eyes at one point. Like,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
like
He sees shit.
I don't.
He's mad.
The actor isn't get green eyes, then I don't know why. Because I swear she did.
He doesn't look grizzled enough. I wish he looked old and grizzled. Come on, Nick Nolte.
Best look of him.
Touch the baby. He's touching a baby.
Giant abomination.
Oh! Flashy. You play with your green
It's the-
toy.
It's the weird like the suck in,
Yeah.
like transitions.
Oh, from the eye. He sees him in the
Oh,
eye.
he's pissed.
Oh, he jumps. Because it's never anger that sets him off. It's always trauma that sets him off. To become the Hulk, which is mad. But that ended very, very suddenly.
Well, it was quite a good anticipation. He did that well.
So, then people always praise this introduction of the Hulk as being the best one
Okay.
of its 2 film appearances. So not that that actually would mean anything. The Incredible Hulk went a lot more horror-y, which is why I probably liked it. And he was like a slasher villain, just like yanking people out into the ether, and it was really goofy.
Yeah. How did that work? How did the Incredible Hulk work?
It didn't have any cool, like, weird visual transitions, and there was no dada trauma pish. I think a guy robbed him or some shit, and some boys robbed him, and he just hulked up first time and ripped him to shreds, and this very cool slasher sequence. Whereas this one is,
It's just a big like anticipation.
yeah,
I reckon like. I feel like if there was like the Incredible Hulk, at least from what you're telling me, I think it feels like
that one.
you already know what. As if Hulks already exist, you know. It's like as if it's not a bigger of a deal.
Well, everyone knows what Hulk looks like.
But they've made this one a bit more dramatic, I reckon. And also drama.
I
You know?
This one just feels more anticlimactic than the other one, because the other one kind of hid him and kept you thinking, what will they look like? This one shows you what it looks like immediately. I enjoy the like 2 split screens that we got in this. I wish we got more of it. If you're gonna do something like that, do it a lot.
Yeah, they would like have like a window, and then they would just
Yeah.
have like a fucking
Yeah, I would love
and then,
that.
Then they would like zoom in. Like, I don't know, F it, do it.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Normally I'd complain about cuts like this, but I kind of dig it in this car that like teleports forward or whatever. Oh.
It's really, you know, I just noticed it's like
Can't teleport it backwards, in fact. And
Yeah, I don't
kinda
know
think
why they did that. I'll give you that. I don't know.
You're right, you could have chopped out 2 seconds by matching that up to it as nicely. Or in fact, just cutting one of the shots. But no, I liked it. It zoomed you into the action almost. It felt like you're being brought back in. And then you see Dada. Huh? Dramatic zoom to Dada. Who's framing him nicely there.
Frame within the frame.
Does it count as him being framed within a frame because he's in a doorway?
A wee bit. Technically.
I like that the camera was elbow height with the Hulk and has now came up to join him. There's some good stuff. The best part about this is the fact that the director Ang Lee is the motion capture guy for the Hulk.
Aye.
For most of the film, I think. And his wife like researched all the cell pish because she was a scientist of that, so all the cell stuff that it does is accurate.
Basically everything that was written at the start during like the big research,
much,
during
yeah.
like during like the opening sequence, you just see a bunch of writing, you know, by his father.
This
So
bit's strong when it comes from this into the hand, into the eye. That bit's really good. And there's also still somehow the
a
moon.
little more and like suck in, like, see.
Then he just jump you up and break the rolling roof. Then you jump out. Yep. He does so much jumping. That's the frame we're gonna hold on. Is this Shrek like Batman? Can the Hulk fly?
It actually looks like he's just standing. Like he's bigger as well.
He is the Statue
On
of
top of
Liberty.
Like it actually looks like it. I think this is in New York, isn't it?
I think this transformation scene could have been done better.
I mean, it's not amazing, but I would say I like it.
I think it's good.
But I can't really point out too much that's terrible with it. Like, but I just know that maybe like, there was probably another version out there that could be better.
So look at this bit.
It's a weird case, you know.
There's one wipe here. Into
like-
him being the Hulk. I wanted more.
like
I think more could have been.
I think they do that once. I think they could have added instead of removed, like in this case.
2 or 3 of those. Yeah, they could have put in 2 or 3 of those kind of like wipey bits, and they could have I don't know, shortened some of these shots because that first one told us nothing. Good one. Good pull back.
I feel like sometimes he looks greener than some other like times. I think it's because the lighting maybe.
Right,
Yeah, but still, it's just.
You don't need a consistently green Hulk. You can change colours all the time. Why is this one shaking? Why do I really like it? We're not even focused on the Hulk causing havoc in the background. We're focused on this shaking.
To be honest, I'm really focused about the environment anyway. Like, what kind of things you can see, what's getting destroyed, what can you tell? Do you know what I mean?
I
That
want
was
to look
that
at the
office
Hulk.
that he was in for the start, so that's it going.
That's these bits in action. This bit's great though when he stomps on that and it just goes woof wide. Yeah, so that's how they introduce the Hulk. It's good, strong. There's some things he could have done stronger.
I think.
Like made the Hulk stronger.
I think, since it was him first finding his powers, I reckon he was like
more anger.
Like either that, but you get that at the end. You get that during, as he's getting used to Hulk. He gets a bit more violent. You know, he does get like more intense with his abilities. With this case, he's like probably saying to himself,
"What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, why the fuck am I angry? Or I'm angry.
Then
Why
again,
am I angry?
Hulk
Let me
be
just
a
destroy you."
different person. Hulk talk to him. Hulk
Venom.
tells him things.
He is Venom.
He's the Hulk.
But still, I wish the Hulk could speak to him just like Venom.
Push comes to shove, and they get the Hulk, don't they?
Eventually.
Yeah. Let's watch this next scene. The Incredible Hulk attacks the army base.
After they catch
We've
him,
got a split screen.
and then they have hugs.
He in like water.
See, like,
tank.
I'd say that saved time. because you could have showed just that, and then maybe like 5 more seconds of that guy speaking. Do you know what I mean? So
Aye, this
I would say there was a
one's-
lot of bits that actually saved time by using that like technique. It was, I would say, poorly executed, but not in a bad way.
I love how like late 60s this bit feels. He be hulking and he be wet, and you know what happens when you get a wet Hulk?
And he's big.
You gas a wet Hulk. Why would you gas a gamma wet big Hulk? Oh. He sneezed! The Hulk sneezed! That's quite funny. He just super kicked the window and then a wall.
Yeah, what made them think that was
Green
going
flashing lights. Man screeding across
Is it-
the
he-
bottom of
he's
the
like-
screen.
he-
It feels like a shitty edited YouTube video.
He literally went, "Ooh, I could slide the video." Oh, and they like put it in the background or something, so they would like cut an outline of his face and then have it behind him. Oh,
There's 3 screens on screen currently.
it's fucking sick.
They glue him in with some form of shit, and it like it's
See, like the foam
crisscrossing
just
across
kind
everything.
of went like it's very dynamic. You know,
What's happening?
that's they tried.
He's got a trank dart.
They tried.
It's okay, because this is the best bit of the film. I give him a bit of a sting.
Wait a bit. Yeah, he just again. Not even that, he just breaks through it.
bigger.
But I just like to imagine he's getting bigger there.
Not the bomb.
It's just.
What the
See, right,
fuck
this is the
this
bit.
film?
This is the bit. That is right. Basically, the guy explodes. Talbot explodes, right? And then it just outlines him and then engulfs in the fire as he's just stopped in motion, and then
Holy shit, he's big.
cuts to this entire fucking wall.
He's like
Of scenes.
that. He's huge at the moment. He's like the size of 3 men. He might be bigger than 3 men. The bullets just bounce off him.
Just go right through him.
We just got 3 shots of the same guy doing the same thing on screen at once.
Yes, because fuck it.
That fire was green.
System readings are red line.
And there are all the screens that were our tiles that we got to see earlier. So they were both real and fake. Oh, and that's them all about Hammer. Not the keyboard.
Shut down all power to the main hall.
I think if you
Show
couldn't have,
them the way
I
out.
think if they just instead of having a black background, Ken, if it didn't suit having one thing on screen, you had to kind of shrink one of the other little screens and put another little strip in there, and then there's just a black background result. You could have added
Oh my god!
something. I love it.
Jumpy! Jumpy! Is this about where he actually flies?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It actually makes the biggest leap of all time. When he makes it out of there.
The reason this is the most replayed, does he smash through the screen? So he jumps through.
Yeah.
He jumps out of the fucking base. And once he's out of the base, we get another shot of him doing the exact same thing we just seen him do, but this time it shatters the screen.
It does it again.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
See?
Then it cuts to one of the dumbest looking runs I've ever seen. Which I really like.
It's a Hulk run.
Let's jump.
I like how he runs through a victory wooden wall that says victory on it with the American flag on it.
Yes.
It's not really meant. I don't think it's meant to be anything, but it's just
What I really
Fun.
like about this is the way that this box that these people are in is the same
Outlined.
colour
Yeah.
as what's going on here. I really like the black background. I think it gives it the weird framing, and it doesn't feel like there's too much going on. Because if there was another shit up there and another shit down there, then
I'd say you could have like
move her up.
instead of like film on the gaps, you just make it something else instead of black. But I don't know. I wouldn't experiment with that just in case.
I think
I would leave it with a black, but I just feel like there's just something that you could add.
I also like how all of the boxes are always moving, and this is a really.
He
good
eventually
Hulk
found out like halfway through the film how to like slide for a specific amount of time. It's just great.
I really enjoy that Hulk Cup.
Should I mention last?
No, I can't do anything with blue. Come on.
That's a fun sequence there. Feel free to pause if anything takes your fancy. I like the way he just
Some of the framing is
yeets
nice.
the water off of him.
Okay.
And he sneezes.
He just kind of stands there like, oh, I'm getting gas, but that's why he's not scared at all. Makes him sneeze more than anything. That's it.
Now that is
As if
amazing.
As if he's just running out of a skateboard.
He literally kicks through the frame. He literally smashes the camera lens and then steps out into the next one.
He just does that again, see? Good.
That might be my favourite cut in the film.
Ready room, send in our containment team. Non-lethals only. I repeat, non-lethals only. I must have a sample of them.
So he turns around the other
It
screen
was
and goes
this
with him.
specific minute.
Hit him with the
You
flag.
can't keep up.
They went full on.
Yeah, this is the good shit. He literally points at one point and he goes away.
Under control, General. I'll let you know if we need you.
And that, it's just, imagine it was just as dynamic as it is. Like
Points.
through the entire film would have been.
Oh, was the bit where someone points and someone vanishes? There it is. He literally
Yeah.
pushes the screen away. That's so good.
Like, imagine the entire film was like that.
And it was like an hour long, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. What? See, he just. He just like.
This man just morphed.
He literally just.
Glitched. He lagged forward.
Oh, I don't even know. Like,
What is the
turned into like
technical
a
expression?
cloud. Like, just.
Was the sound effect that played
Yeah.
there? He's not a super. He's just a guy. Look at how he holds the gun. He fucking misses.
Nah, wait. What was he actually doing? Was he like rolling his sleeves? No, he wasn't.
He's trying to get this bit, but he just straight misses it.
Nah, I'm sure they would have redone it. I'm sure it must have been a thing he was doing.
No, they wouldn't. This happened seconds before.
Still. No, he was getting rid of his he was moving his
Was he?
little his little bandage to the side,
Oh,
even though it was still
it
broken.
looked so goofy.
Like his harness, he was moving it.
Oh, it looked
Cast.
so goofy.
That's it.
That makes me sad. His eye.
His eye just goes really
That's
big.
because he gets so much bigger. He becomes the height of 3 men, if not 4.
It just goes back.
He's like getting away from the play though, but he's holding him in. So long, big boy. It
It
takes
looks like
the
lipstick more than anything.
Takes the lipstick bomb.
Just the flex. No, that's
Flex.
no. Right. It just it happens within 5 seconds. Like you wouldn't know 5 seconds later that this would happen.
And nothing
It's-
like this ever happens.
It's
again.
an outline. The outline,
Of a man.
and then he just freezes, and the fire engulfs him. It's like the same clip.
I like the way it zooms out from the
I would
bomb.
like to see this like
Into bomb, out from bomb.
half speed. Hold on, is it? I'd like to see this in
Do we
half
have
speed.
it in, is that
Yeah.
in settings?
Playback speed. But that's like a quarter. Yeah, just do that. See, like we're watching it at a quarter speed. I like it.
Oh my god!
It doesn't like. It's not like it stops either, right? It's not like when it zooms into the bullet, it doesn't stop. It just keeps zooming in and then it straight back out, like faster than ever.
Let's watch him, this man.
So, as he's shooting it, right? Boing boing, right? It doesn't stop zooming, right? Boom. But it turns purple for a bit as well. It's quite fun.
It completely engulfs him. Well, that was
I respect it.
gifted.
We will link all
And
of
then it
these
zooms
scenes.
out from this
Yeah, it does that as well. It does
To-
this giant wall
to
of
the full-on
scenes.
comic panel.
Yeah,
What's that fucking shot?
that's his mum getting murdered, I think.
Yeah, exactly. They're not. They're all.
Yeah.
They're all the most unlinear shots of the film. That's what we just saw of
Yeah.
the man getting blown up.
Fuck it.
But we're gonna join this one for now. We've seen those ones. Those are
Yeah.
just stills from the film. Mad. Anyway, time to do some more wipes and slides. Yep, onto the next screen. Yep, there's. I like that. I like that for some reason it has these doors.
It's like security footage. It's like surveillance. Do you know?
Yeah, that's.
And then this.
They just
Look at just
start
that.
eating about. He's so bad. Look at him in comparison to humans. He's not actually hit anyone yet.
Like
It's this guy I fucking love. Just keep paying attention to this guy. Oh, he just fucks it. He makes it down.
Well, if the fucking Hulk
He almost broke
was
his
there,
neck.
you know, I'm sure you would be a wee bit.
He almost broke
Flat.
his neck.
I think you'd be a wee bit flustered, you know.
If
If the Hulk was towering above you.
This guy!
He was.
Say hello to my little friend!
I bet he's like a father. He's like 70 now. He's like a grandfather. He goes, "That's me,
The editor's still alive.
and I've got a gun."
Hey.
And he just does that, and then it.
Fire, bombs, explosion.
No, there's more. Back in.
Stares in the camera. He's staring into the camera. He's watching the
Right.
camera.
It's like they zoomed in with like the actual just the camera where he's looking at. But imagine they just transitioned that better with the same point of view as the security camera.
That's a fun shot.
Yeah, it's lovely framing.
There's a person there, there's that guy there, there's this person here talking to him, but then we're also watching the hologram page on this monitor.
Show him the way out. We'll fight him outside.
Oh,
That's
they
how you
agreed
do
to
it.
fight him outside. Then again, the fight outside would be the most batshit mental thing I think I've ever seen. He fights a tank and he like lifts up a tank and
Yeah,
hits
and he
his
just-
cell in the bollocks.
He just like swings it.
Burf.
And he
run,
runs.
run. I love the run. I don't like the jumps, but I love the runs.
Oh, the jumps. He does it many occasions from now on.
Yeah, he be jumpy boy now. Can I get the bit where he hits himself in the balls with the tank?
You know, that probably didn't hurt him, at least.
He's got a missile at one point, that's always a fun bit.
He does. It was almost replayed.
I mean, it's going to be the bit where he hits his
Yeah.
cock with the tank, isn't it? And he
It
goes,
must be.
oh!
Yeah.
That's the third bit of cock-based shit in this film.
But it's
One of the dogs bites him in the balls. He then picks up a dog and then punches the dog square in the balls. And then he hits himself in the balls.
so many balls, man.
Then this poor fucker.
Like
As
he's
the
just,
Hulk
a,
just jumps
he's
away.
He's a tiny ant. I just like that last like 5 seconds where it's just him jumping away like that.
It's really peaceful. The
Because you
film
just-
shit
'cause-
like that.
There's like after all of that, and you just get 5 seconds to look at that and go, what the fuck? Do you know? I like it when films
Yeah.
do that.
He's so green now that he's outside.
Yeah, this is the Hulk, you know.
Because we finally get to see him outside.
He does a Mario 64 and just swings him. I just kept looking at that tank, you know, just waiting for it to. You know, I didn't look at the Hulk at this bit. I just kept looking at that.
Yeah,
Just waiting
he's
for it
so
to,
big,
just waiting
man.
for it to get to, you know? It's
Properly hulks up. And then the one of the main plots kind of resolves with Ross.
pretty much.
Kind of.
Oh.
And Dad comes back from the maybe dead. I don't know. Film
yeah,
gets
he went
weird.
to like Wales or something for about 30 years, and then and he's back as this bearded gentleman.
Nick
'Cause
Nolte.
I totally didn't see that coming when he was the janitor,
No.
because he just says that the old janitor's dead. I'm replacing him. That's
Yeah.
all he said.
So he become an absorbing man,
Yeah,
which is fun. I like
Yeah.
the absorbing man. The absorbing man's a good.
absorbing man. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the villain. He
Yeah.
like touches shit and absorbs it.
Yeah.
There's a really good bit in a lab when he's like touching all
Yeah.
of these shits and absorbing all these random things, and like the bit where he puts his hand on it becomes blue
On the
and
metal.
like he just can't get it off, and it's making
It's
this
like-
really nice noise.
Who's that woman villain from Deadpool and Wolverine? What's her name again? You know how she like just puts her hand inside
Casanova.
someone, and then like it's like her hands inside it,
Yeah,
inside
Nova.
someone's head. Yeah, it reminded me of that because he's like full in the metal. Do you know? That's when the CGI just is good. I love that. That's the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's one of the most well-known shots of the film.
Yeah, it's just the. That was definitely in the trailer.
He'd be absorbing all these textures.
Starfish, whatever that is.
And there's the blue metal that he's about to put his hand on, and it'd just be
Look at that. Nah, that's just sounds cool. Just becomes it. You can actually feel that. I like the outlines as well. On the
Watching
metal.
him, he's actually changing the surface with where he puts his hand through it.
You can actually see the outline of like the bloody thing.
It annoys me that this film is as flawed as it is, because there is so much gold with bits like this.
Yeah.
There's like, see these 10 clips from Hulk 2003, when you go onto YouTube and you type in Hulk 2003, watch them. Because that is the best part of the film. The Gamma accident, the Hulk born, You're Making Me Angry, Hulk versus the dogs, the absorbing man, the escape scene, and the end fights. That is the best parts of the film. All of the great editing stuff is in that part. And you know what? You can pick up the story just from those parts, which tells you the film only needed to be fucking 20 minutes long. That's the best parts. Everything else is just slow and boring. Love how good
I see
this
where you're
film
getting
is.
from, but
He's changing.
as it is, it's one of those things I don't really have much justification. I just kind of go,
We all have films like that.
it's one of those films where you just enjoy it no matter what. But it's those specific 10 scenes from movie clips on YouTube that obviously you remember the most.
Oh yeah.
And of course you have to add a love interest, obviously, because every film needs to have one. Thought it was,
But
it's
she
fine.
makes the Hulk better. She soothes him.
She's just like everything's fine.
And
Everything's fine.
and he
kind of
calmed
person,
down.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's sweet, do you know? But as we put on in the last scene, one of the final ones,
The Hulk versus the Absorbing Man fight sequence.
that was about 5-7 minutes,
Flash.
and that's including the conversation that they had with each other.
Conversation's boring. I don't want to watch people talk. I just want to watch the Hulk fight as he flashes through the clouds, and we get to see the trauma literally directly.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? But I love it
I love this bit.
because it actually looked like he was like the shape of a cloud, do you know?
Yeah.
More shadows than anything. He becomes thunder as well. He becomes rock. I think it's either when he becomes water, it becomes rock that I prefer. But I saw it coming when he was going to throw it in the ocean.
Big beat boof. It makes
This
me
is-
sad that the Hulk doesn't end this fight. It's them. Oh. he be absorbing.
And it's also like there's not as much of those cool sequences, like those like cuttings and
They
the
could have
actual
done
editing.
so cool.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think
the Absorbing Man could have absorbed the fucking frame, and he
Yeah.
could have been zigzagging about. They could have done so
Exactly.
much batshit mental stuff. And it'd been better if they did. He's just kind of
but
Rockman
then
for
they
a
just
bit.
turn all cinematic again.
It just becomes a superhero film at this point.
Yeah, it becomes a film. You know, I think if you're gonna include that, do it for the entire film.
Although this bit's strong as fuck.
Yeah, you knew exactly what was gonna happen when you did that. It just like drowns him. It's pretty fun.
Ah! You always wanted to be Bit Hulk. Green.
That was one of the best.
Green.
It was like dark, like
Green.
you had to squint your eyes. to see
Green.
it.
Light.
That's right. Keep fighting. The more you fight, the more of you I take.
Come on, Hulk. Which becomes ice, like
Strange.
all forms of matter.
Phenomenal drop in temperatures there. Simultaneous radiological activity.
They're absorbing all the ambient energy.
You know, I think they could add a cut in where they're saying that, and maybe they're just using absorbing the ice. Do you know?
Yeah.
At the same time, but
Oh, we're
they
going
just
through it
turn
all.
cinematic again.
Aye.
Bus drama coming back. Oh,
Films need more shit like this. Films need more falling based shit.
You think you can live with it? Take it.
as it morphs into his face.
And we're back. We're so back.
He's pissed. He's a cloud now.
You will not take thy Hulk. Thy Hulk will take you.
They will not take my Hulk. Yeah, he starts to attack tornado, doesn't it? Yeah, just kind of.
It's a metaphor. For a face. The shite fuck happened here though.
Yeah, just the explosion just turns into like this giant like. It's like a jellyfish, to be honest.
It's like a wee nuke cloud, is it not?
Jellyfish are prominent in this film, though.
For some reason.
That's another animal that was seen.
But
doing
they be
some shit.
bombing them.
Jellyfish.
They're gonna
Jellyfish.
kill them both.
Cannot.
And she knows it has to be done.
It's a lot of gamma.
They knew it had to be done. Also, Lou Ferrigno's in this film.
Look at all the different variant Hulks.
They knew it had to be done, so she's just like, you know what, Dada, do it. And Dada's like, I didn't want it. I know you thought it. And
Even at the end, they have a little like conversation, like a little resolve.
they've got a very good relationship throughout the film.
Like
I quite enjoyed watching their conversations.
it was a nice like subplot that
Yeah, that was
worked fine.
that was
You know,
one of the better ones.
of them growing. Do you know?
Yeah, that one felt like that needed to be there. That made the film better. It didn't take away from it.
Even like I don't know, the 3 minutes of background that you got from like the
Yeah.
flashback scene, that was fine.
Yeah.
You know, there was things like that worked for. Sure, it adds up, but then again, oh well.
For the most part, the film edit and those like the fight sequences,
The fight,
the idea
action was
behind
great.
the story, the flashes,
Yeah.
the funny surrealist bullshit, all of that I absolutely adore. It could have lost quite a fair bit of time in places. It just goes on and on and on, and it's not the most rewatchable. It is.
I
You
would
can watch
probably watch
scenes
it.
in isolation over and over and over again. You could study scenes and mimic them in your edit. Scott Pilgrim fucking did. But to sit down and watch the entire film again is one hell of a commitment that I don't think I could do.
I would probably there will probably be a time again where I'll do it.
At some point in my life,
You know,
almost definitely gonna.
like it'll happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it every day.
No.
You know, I wouldn't watch. You know, it's not like Big Hero 6. I wouldn't watch it every day. Well, no, I would watch it every day, but not
Yes.
this. Not Hulk. But it is something to appreciate.
Absolutely. You asked me if I've ever edited a film like this. No, but I want to.
there's, there's always a chance.
That might be my plan for uni this year, is to just
Make something fucking crazy.
batshit mental edit. Just a batshit mental edit. A really, really, really simple
Yeah.
film that is batshit mentally edited. I really wish this film dove more into the abuse.
A wee
And
bit.
like the mental health of the Hulk is what it seemed to be danced. Like
Like a wee bit, because
that's what it's about.
his
But
resolve
there's so
was,
much else going on
Yeah.
that the mental health stuff I think can get lost in the
Like,
mental health and abuse.
I feel like it
gets
just
lost.
it was just sort of implied that he just had to live with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's like a bittersweet ending, because you had the fact that Bruce and Betty could not get together,
And
and
he died.
he's still kind of the Hulk, and he's still like, there, like he still can't really control the Hulk that much. That's
Yeah.
why he's living in the bloody rainforest,
Yeah.
I would reckon. So it's like not exactly the best ending in the world.
But it's the right ending.
It's the right ending, but it's not like the more high, happy, desired ending.
No, absolutely not.
It's
It's
like-
the right
it's like-
ending for the film.
It's like the true ending.
It's real.
you know?
It feels real.
Like,
Somehow
that's
this film
what was
feels
meant to happen.
realistic.
Realistic, even though it's the most comic book looking Hulk of all time.
Yeah, but
Because even to
Gamma
this-
would make you that green.
even the Incredible Hulk, looked a bit too realistic, just because it looked a bit too green. Do you know what I mean? Look at the Hulks. We're about to look at.
The university battle's fucking class, by the way.
I would say maybe if you didn't have just in cinema form, like just total cinematic shots, not fucking whack editing,
Black editing's great.
I would say 2008 might look a wee bit better, like filmed better. Do you know? Definitely, but
It's got like night vision green goggles during the slasher sequence I was talking about. He's got his heart rate, because when his heart rate, his anger goes above a certain thing, that's when he hulks out. I think this one's better.
there's like a meter that's kind of suspenseful.
The problem with the Hulk films is they're both not good. They both have so much wrong with them and so much right with them that they both cancel out to just become
Good.
watchable and enjoyable, but it's all down to taste. This is more my thing, and this is
I
more
dropped
my
my
Hulk.
camel.
Not the camel. As all of a sudden, this man just got yeeted into the fucking abyss. One man down.
Usual.
These ten, they just get
If
yeeted.
only if you got morphed into the fire frozen in motion, you're right.
It just feels much more suspenseful, this one, the first meeting with the Hulk, because, well, there's other people involved. And one...
He's just fucking killing. He's just straight up killing people.
He's not killed anyone.
Well, that implied. That implied there, and
He's
he
not
just
dead.
locked off. That implied. How would you survive a throw from the Hulk anyway? Unless he's being very nice. Now that is right. That is bigger than any other Hulk. Like even
That's
the
a
one from
bullet.
that film. Yeah, it's a
The
bullet,
other-
but he's I don't know how small the bullets are or how big the Hulk is in that scene. Do you know?
Well, that's the beauty of the Hulk, is it's all not...
Like you're not. It's just
We've yet to
how you
actually
perceive
see...
it.
We're yet to actually see the Hulk in a full shot, but the second shot we got of the Hulk in the other one, we immediately saw what he looked like. We're just seeing him throw shite, and bottles are about to start smashing. What kind of bottles?
I like how they're all
green
green.
bottles.
They're all like lime green.
Yeah.
He's just about. He's like a shadow right now. You know.
Yeah. He's a shadow for most of this film. Which fits the character of Ed Norton, who's a shadow of a man. I like how we're going to end this Hulk podcast talking about a different Hulk.
This is just Hulk in general.
Hulk's great. Hulk really deserves a good film, but I think it must be very hard to do him justice.
I just wish they could do more with the MCU Hulk.
Bomb. Blows up. Fucking goated shot.
It's always about the black explosions.
Birth. Lights the man up. And we've yet to fully see him, so it just, fuck the MCU Hulk, by the way, he's shite. Both other Hulks are way better. this one and the 2003 Hulk, and he's going to emerge from the fog.
I just think he's
No, he isn't.
he's done nothing.
Yeah, he's not done anything.
The past, like, since this film, he has done nothing.
At least this film is MCU.
Yeah, like, this film is, but that's all that he's done.
This is the same canonical Hulk that's in the MCU. Yeet the
Yeah.
gamma!
Exactly, because it's
Not this fucker.
different actors or some shit.
Yeah, because Ed Norton is a bit of a dick.
But, don't know. He was literally comic relief in She-Hulk. And I watched one episode of it.
I didn't. I refused to watch Hulk. They shit on my boy Ed Norton's Hulk any more than they did in the first bunch of his shit. Because you know the best part about Ed? Do you know what's really rough as fuck? There's the face. There's the first goal. He gonna fuck you up, wee man.
It's the angriest looking Hulk. It's the ugliest Hulk as well.
He's grizzled. He's old.
Which, Hulk is supposed to be not handsome, but you know.
He's the other one's too young and pasty. This one's seen some shit. Do you know what I hate about the MCU Hulk in relation to all the other Hulks? Is this film is abjectly about Edward Norton's Bruce Banner, who's attempted to kill himself because he just wants the Hulk to die, and then it's comic relief in She-Hulk that he turns into the Hulk. No, he wants to kill himself to kill the Hulk. That's fucked up. And you're just gonna go and make a joke about it in the Avengers. That's really sad.
And then it's like, what happened again?
Bruce
like,
Banner also knows karate in this film, and see when he's not the Hulk, he could still win most fights.
even
Whereas
then-
Bruce Banner in the MCU, who is technically the same man, gets his ass handed to him anytime he's not the Hulk. No, Bruce Banner has more confidence than the fucking Hulk.
that's
in this
why they
film.
need to. I really wish they just acknowledged his background in the Incredible Hulk, because you can't really do anything
Yeah.
else about it. Like, it's set in stone. You just have to live with it. But it's about what you can change now to make it at least compensate a wee bit. Because he's
Just
done fuck all.
Do some multiverse pish. Actually, I don't care.
Bring 2003 Hulk just to the MCU, and then you can make him the new Hulk.
Or just don't. Just give me
Just
give me a Hulk film that's not related in any way.
Let's cut in a film in the Amazon rainforest. He's doing his thing. He's oh, you don't want to make me angry. The film 2003 Hulk ends. He's fighting these people. He does his job, and then Doctor Strange portal appears. He's pissed off. He can't control it, so he just fucking jumps, leaps into it, and then there he is.
He kills the Hulk.
He's with us. He kills the MCU Hulk, the new Hulk.
Yeah.
That's what you need to fix it, and then just
Or
have
just
him
give
again.
me, or just give me a Hulk film that's not related in any way to the MCU.
You know, that would just be honestly, that'd be the funniest shit if that happened.
Just try again. Because Hulk 2003 was so close to being perfection. Hulk 2008 was so close to being perfection. Hulk 2027 is going to be so close to being perfection because it's not going to be a comedy. It's going to be a very, very serious film. Which is why everyone hates The Incredible Hulk, by the way, is because there's not a single joke in the film. Well, would you like to make a joke about a man who's trying to kill himself at multiple points in the film? No, you wouldn't.
Well, like 10 years later, they probably would.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it was like 10 years later they did that.
Oh,
But it's-
ridiculous.
But oh well.
Any concluding notes on the Hulk aside from his future is killing the Hulk?
Watch it.
Aye, definitely. If you haven't
Like-
seen it, check it out. It's batshit mental.
Like, I don't think you would. It's sure you might get bored sometimes,
Yeah.
but those 10 scenes that we were talking about,
Oh, those 10 scenes are
they
class.
they will compensate all right.
And there's like one or two more sprinkled throughout that are really good.
Yeah, there's just small things that you just either notice or don't notice. Like, you know, I sent you that video about the moon. Those street lights on the lights on the car. It just the bokeh on it. It just merges together and then it just turns into a fucking. Like, why not do that?
Film's mental.
We
We need more of that
imagine
in
if-
the world.
like, even if it wasn't an action film, you know, I would gladly morph things together and make them one thing. As
Yeah.
long as they look like, you know, I would have streetlights on a car that turned into a moon. Do you know?
Yeah.
You know, just for the fun of it. You
Yeah,
know,
it looks pretty, do it.
but just don't do it once. Just
Keep it consistent.
just do it every 2 minutes. Do it every 5
Aye.
minutes even,
Aye, just consistently.
You know?
Don't just do it every 20 minutes.
because it was always just some fight scenes.
Whenever they did it,
That
though, they
had-
did it in fucking wavelengths.
They
There was
didn't-
so much of
They
it.
didn't fucking like like seizure like inducing succession, but I digress. It was still
Mad wee film.
still a hell of a fun time. So
Mad wee film. And on that note,
Hulk,
Hulk says smash.
best looking Hulk. Smash or pass?
What?
That's what you meant,
I just said Hulk smash.
precisely.
Fuck.